So I'm just going to make a digital card for my project life. So I just thought I'd show you how I do it. So here is a card from the Ali Edwards Digital Stories by the Month kit for September. So I'm just going to open it in my Photoshop Elements, and then I'm going to rotate it because I want to make this card into a 3x4, and at the moment it's a 6x4. So I'm going to just zoom out so that I can see the whole card, and then I'm going to go down here to the crop, and I'm going to change it from 6x4, I'm going to make it 3x4, so I'm just going to go in here and change that from a 6 to a 3 and press return. So now I've got the right size, I'm just going to put it where I want it and zoom it out. So I'll click on this corner here and just drag it to 3x4, position it where I want it there. Yeah, that's fine, and click the tick. So now I've got a 3x4 card out of that 6x4 original, and now I'm going to go File and Open and go back to the kit, and this time I'm looking for, that was in the vellum section, now I'm looking for the, is it that one in the die cuts? I'm looking for the die cuts. Yes, here it is, this one, highs and lows. Open that. So there I've got the highs and lows pennant. So I'll go back down to the bottom here, and what I'm going to do is pull up the pennant on top of the card I just made, and there it is. And because they're the same pink, that sits nicely on there. So I've just gone up here, clicked on the move tool, and I'm just moving it to where I want it. Highs and lows there. That looks fine. So you can't see it's a pennant actually, but that doesn't matter. I've got it makes a nice title on the card. So now what I'm going to do, I want to put a 1, 2, 3 down this side, and I want to do it in this colour. So I go to the colour picking tool and I pick that colour there, eyedropper, there we are, and so that's now appeared here as my colour. And then I'm going to go to my brush tool because I've got some brushes that I want to use here that I've already loaded. So I've got 1, 2, 3. If you want to know how to load brushes, I can show you that on another little video. So I'm going to go 1, and then I'm going to look at the size down here. It's too big at the moment, so I want it about 205. So I just slide this slider up and down till I get to 205, and now that's about right for what I want. So I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to put this number 1 on a new layer so that if I want to move it in the future I can do. So okay, so that makes a new layer over here on my layers palette. At the moment I've got my background card, I've got my highs and lows pennant, and then I've got layer 1 that I've just created, and I'm going to just stamp this brush tool about here. Because I've got it on its own layer, I know I can move it later. So that's number 1, and that looks about right, and it's in that nice colour. So now I'm going to go to my brushes again down here, and I'm going to pick number 2, and I'm going to make, there it is, number 2, and I'm going to make that the same size, about 205 down here, 205. Can't hit it, there it is. And then I'm going to make a new layer to put number 2 on, so that I end up with it on its own layer in case I want to line them up later. I'm lining it up by eye at the moment. What you can do is you can go over to this edge, this very edge ruler here, and you can drag over, oh golly, that's not very good. I should have gone here. Let's just undo that mess I've just done there. You can go over to this edge here and drag over a line, put it where you want it, and then line them up along the edge of that line there. So you can see it's created a blue line that gives me a guide to put those two numbers side by side. So I've got one, I've got two, so now I'll go over to my brush tool again and I'm going to choose number 3. So there's number 3 and I want it 205 pixels, which is down here. Yep. And then I'm going to make a new layer, put this on its own layer, so that if I want to line them up later, and then I'm going to stamp that about there. So what I've got now, because I've got in the palette over here, I've got the background, I've got the pennant highs and lows, and I've got 1, 2, 3. At any point, I can click on this eye and hide any of those elements separately. So at the moment, if I could print it out like that, or I could hide 1, 2 and 3 by clicking on this eye over here, and that would just give me that. So I could print it out like that. Or if I just wanted number 1, could unhide that and I could just have highs and lows number 1 and make a set of these cards. So I've got options. If I want to go ahead and actually type, I can do T here. I've got Remington Noiseless in there. I could draw a text box here and just start typing. So, you know, I could pick the colour I want to type in over here with the pick tool. It's down here on red at the moment. There it is. So it's too tiny at the moment, but that's how you would type there. Let's just go back and see what's happening. I, H, H, H. Now why isn't it showing? Let's have a look. Is it because that's 2? It's showing us, let's do that again. Type tool, draw. It's showing us 9 points. Is that too small? Let's do it that size. Oh, I know what's happening. So what's happening is because my pennant here is in front, pink on pink, it's hiding behind the pennant. So what you need to do over here, see, I have to work that out now. You move your text layer in front of the pennant, or move your pennant behind the text layer, and now it's showing here. That's what's happened there. Oh, well, I've solved that one then. Well, hope this was useful. This is what I came up with as my finished one that I've done here. So if I reveal all the layers, I put my pennant at the top, and then I had layer 1, which is the number 1, layer 2, which is number 2, layer 3, which is number 3, then I did a bit of typing in each box here. So that's how I'm done mine, and I'm going to print it out.